everyone. Thank you for joining us for TCCA 20 on our 10th anniversary. We are so excited that we have so many people joining us from all over the country, not just here in Houston, Texas. I am your host, Kelly Smith. I am a DLS in Aldine ISD, and a couple of things before I hand it over to our wonderful presenters. If you have any comments or questions, please post them in the chat. And our co-host, Miss Brooke Martin, a program director in Aldine ISD, will be monitoring the chat for those amazing questions. Now, I see a lot of you are already asking about the certificates. Patience. There are a lot of attendees this year at TCCA. You will get 8 or 9 emails, I promise, from TCCA with all of your certificates. So just write down the super secret word for every session that you attend so that when you do get those emails, you can type in that word and get your credit for the session. Okay. It is my pleasure to announce our 2 presenters for this session. It is Lynnette Sepulveda and Stephanie Flores from Aldine ISD. Right, ladies, the floor is yours.
All right, so you're first going to see on your screen a join code. We do use Nearpod, so make sure you go ahead to join.nearpod.com and then put in the code 8K96G, or if you have the app, also can enter in that code, as well as this should be on the YouTube. Did we add that to the YouTube as well, the link?
No, we have not.
Okay, so this is the way to get in today. So just make sure that you go to join.nearpod.com or you click on the app for Nearpod and go to 8K96G. to make sure that you can get in. We will be using this throughout the session. It is extremely interactive, so please make sure that you get in so that you can have fun with us throughout the day. So I will introduce myself. I'm Lynnette Sepulveda. I'm a 3rd grade teacher at Orange Grove Elementary in Aldine. I teach bilingual students reading, writing, and social studies. And we're excited to share this with you today of some strategies. We try to add in some things for ESL students so that we can best serve them. And my partner, Ms. Flores, Stephanie Flores, she also works with me there. So I'll let her introduce you.
Hi, everybody. I am Stephanie Flores. And yes, Lynnette and I do teach together at Orange Grove, and I teach the math and science. We had a lot of fun putting this presentation together. It's one of our favorites, so we really hope you enjoy and walk away with some new knowledge for today.
Okay, so I'm going to assume at this point you are into Nearpod, and we're going to continue on.
So this is called Language Strategies Through Technology. So we do teach bilingual students and ELs, obviously. So we did this presentation with that in mind, and we hope that these strategies will be super useful for that student population as well as any population you teach. They're just overall good practices. So we would love for you to tweet out today. Hashtag is TCCA2020, and there are our Twitter handles. So please, take a screenshot, give us a shout out. We would love to hear from you.
And don't worry, we have them at the end too.
Yes. So we're going to start today with a morning meeting. I know some campuses do the morning meetings and some don't, but we're just going to greet each other in a different language besides English. So you can type in the chat, hello, in any language that you would like or that you know. It can be one that we've listed and given you an example of, or one that you know maybe we didn't think of. So just chat and type a hello for us. Now we're going to play a matching game. This is an activity. So in the Nearpod, you're going to have an opportunity to match a picture with the word. Now, the trick to this is the word isn't in English. So you've got to try and use your clues and figure out which ones go together.
So in the Nearpod here that I'm showing you, you're going to see the directions at the top. So welcome to the language matching game. Match as many pairs as you can. Good luck. So some pairs will have pictures and some will have words. So for example, hello, you would find hola. So if those directions are in your way, all you need to do is click that little arrow to go up, and now you can start matching. So if you get it wrong, no worries. So like if I pick this and language, it tells me, nope, that's wrong. You can go ahead and start to find the correct answer. And once you get it right, then it will check off. And the great thing about Nearpod is I have the teacher version up over here. I can see who's working and I can see how they're doing. So if you haven't joined us on Nearpod, get in and have some fun. So you have about 2 minutes remaining. You might not need the 2 minutes. I'll monitor to see how we're doing. So see if you can match everything up. So it looks like we're getting there. Some people are super smart. They've already gotten all 6.
Wow.
It's a great way to see how your students are doing and who needs help and who may need some intervention later to how you can help them in the future. So you get some live information right in this moment. So if you're doing a vocabulary.
Lynnette, could we have the Nearpod code again, please?
I can say it. That's about the only thing I can do.
That's perfect. I'll type.
Okay. Okay, so it's 8K96G. 8K96G. Yes, because you got to be here to have fun. All right, so it looks like that most everybody has gotten 6. Just a couple needing to get there. So we're down to 30 seconds. If you can add timers onto the activities so that you keep on pace, or if you kind of want to rush your students, you feel rushed. All right, and hopefully that gave a chance for everybody to join us on Nearpod as well. So it looks like most everybody has gotten to the 6. So we're just down to about 10 seconds. Oh, see, it even gets like, finish up at you. All right, so time's up. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next part.
Okay, so the next component or the next slide we're going to share with you are the components of the morning meeting. If you are interested in having more information, you can click on the link in the box and save that, download it for later. There's a drop down arrow next to the printer, or you can also print it as a PDF and save it. And you can find out more information about morning meetings.
Okay, and mine is hiding behind my arrow there, but
Yes.
There is a download behind that other arrow so that you can have that for later.
Okay, so our SciOp component connection, lesson preparation, interaction, practice and application, strategies.
So to help you when you're building this digital classroom community, I created an anchor chart, kind of fun here, to some rules. So we're going to also use these rules today. So it says here that we're going to name parts of posts we connect with and suggest improvements carefully. We're going to be open to others' ideas that are different from our own. We're going to make an effort to connect with everyone, not just our friends. And we're going to use kind words in discussions and comments and reread them before we put them out to post. We're going to use a mix of academic vocabulary and conversation, pushing that level of language up to a higher level as we go through. So if you'd like to have this resource, you can just click the download button and you'll have this resource for later so that you can use this in your classroom. So that will take care of that with the little download button. All right, let's go. We're having another activity within Nearpod. I'll speak quickly because we're already on a timer. So what does effective use of technology look like in the classroom? Draw, add an image, or a combination of what this looks like to you. So those directions in the way again, just push that up and now you have space. So this is called a drawlet. You're going to have an option of using different tools at the bottom. You can actually draw if you are an amazing artist on the computer, and you can use all the different colors to create a pencil drawing. There is a highlighter as well if you'd like some markers. There is a text box so that you can add words. So you just start typing once you've opened that, and it will start to type. Or if you'd like images, because like me, you're not very good at drawing and you'd rather have someone else have done the work, you can go ahead here and click and search on Google for any images that you think would be best with your response. Once you've found your image, you just click save and it will pop up. So again, you are looking for what does the effective use of technology look like in the classroom. So this is like standing at your door, taking a pic. What do you see in the classroom if it's effectively working? All right, and on the teacher side, I can see who's working, so you can give immediate feedback to students. Oh, I see someone's already gotten in, found a picture, and submitted. Excellent. So that's always important too. You have to click the submit button at the bottom. So you're down to 1.5 minutes. All right, I see some combination of tools too. We've got some drawing, some text box, and picture. Oh, this is looking excellent. And as soon as our timer goes off, I can also share out some ideas. But the great thing about Nearpod is you can keep it completely anonymous and confidential. So no names will be added onto anything that I share.
And Lynnette, while they're drawing, I'm just going to address a few questions. There was a question about needing 2 computer screens to use this best. No, you don't have to have 2 computer screens. You can just have 2 tabs open and just toggle back and forth. It's your comfort level, really. And then a way to make the tiles smaller on your phone. Not really sure about that. I guess it would depend on what kind of phone you had, Apple, Android, and then actually playing around with the link. So not really sure about the cell phone. As far as copying everything at the end, Lynnette can demonstrate, you can save this Nearpod to your drive or email it to yourself. There's like a little notepad or pencil in the corner, and you just click save via email, Google Drive, or the cloud, and you'll have access to this presentation forever.
Yep, pretty much. So I just demoed that while she was saying it as well. Okay, time's up. So let's see. Okay, here's a image. So we have technology being used at each of the students' areas as well as the board at the same time. So interacting with all of those. Let's see some other ideas that we have. Oh, here's one where they're working more collaboratively as a group. So sharing a device, not really possible at this moment, unfortunately. Here's a similar idea, but now with their own devices. So that might be a little bit more possible at this time. Okay, here's one that everyone is connected and working. So we're all coming into this piece of bringing everyone together. So it looks like you've really got some ideas to how to make this all work. Here's one showing Kahoot, of that being part of the classroom and bringing everyone together with playing that. So you've really got some ideas already started to what you think this is and how it would work in the classroom effectively. The strategy that we were using right now is called schema and vocabulary building. We used a quick draw to do that. So if you would like the directions on how to do this in the classroom to use this ESL strategy, you can just click the little download arrow and you'll have this for later. As well as we just explained, you can have the whole presentation and get it whenever you need. So let's talk a little bit more about that effective use of technology. So in the classroom, if we're using it effectively, students are active learners. They're not just receiving information, they are actively involved in it. And they're not just typing or putting a picture, they're analyzing and creating. So we want to take that to another level and up their engagement and their academic interest in the topic. The teachers connect learning in the classroom to the outside world. If we have all this ability to find everything out there in the internet world, why don't we bring it to our students? We can now connect. Like today, we're connecting all over the place. So bring that to our students. Also, you need to think about how you can blend things, face-to-face instruction with technology. Some of us are just dealing completely with technology, but as our students come back face-to-face, or if we are starting to work face-to-face, how can we layer this technology use to continue? Also, access is given to students to feedback on their performance immediately. You could see right now that I could see what you were doing. I gave feedback. We shared some things. This is instantaneous. All right, so now we're going to do some more work. How do we use technology? So I always say to my own personal children, are you using it as a toy or a tool? So we have lots of technology, but how we use it differs in what it is or what we're doing at the time. So we really need to think about this. Do you need different skills depending on how you are using technology, whether it's a tool or a toy? So let's organize our thoughts first. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to find this image here that says, how is technology used? Go ahead and right click on that, and you're going to open the link in a new tab. So go ahead and click on that and click open link in a new tab. When you do that, it's going to ask you to make a copy. This is to allow you to have your own personal copy of this graphic organizer. So go ahead and click make a copy. And my computer's thinking, there we go. So now it brings up the graphic organizer so that I can type inside of it. This is my own digital version. So how is technology used? Think about how technology is used by you and or others, and or students. Is it used as a toy or a tool? What are ways that it is used each way? Organize your thoughts and ideas in this graphic organizer. So you know that for ESLs, graphic organizers are so helpful. So we're going to use one today. If you click on any of the boxes, you have to do a double click. It will allow you to start to type inside the box. So I want you to list out ways that we use technology as a toy and ways that we use technology as a tool. So it could be the same technology, it could be different technology, but what are ways that we do that? So ways as a toy, ways as a tool. Just go ahead and take, let's say we'll take a minute or two for you to go ahead and put your ideas in here. So again, I'll demo how to get that in case I did it too fast. Where it says, how is technology used? In the Nearpod, you're going to right click, open that link in a new tab. When that comes up, it's going to ask you if you would like to make a copy. You're going to click make a copy, and that will create your own personal copy so that you can start to write in it. And while I'm working on that, I just wanted to also add, or while you're working on that, I just wanted to add that I am working in just a laptop right now, and I'm toggling between the teacher's version of this Nearpod and what I'm showing you. And to make it easier for me, even though it's just a laptop, I split my screen. So I have two windows open side by side, and that's how I'm doing it. So that's another option as well. But I do not have two computers running. So,
Lynnette, we have a few people saying that there's no access or access denied.
Okay, it might be because they're outside of Aldine, so let me see if I can fix that. I thought with the copy we would be okay, but I guess no. Okay. All right, so sorry about that. Let me see if I can fix that quickly. Okay, I've changed it to anyone with the link, so hopefully that will solve that problem. So I apologize. I figured the copy feature would solve that, but I'm really sorry. You should now be able to have access. So it should have maybe updated, or you might need to refresh, or just click on the link again and give it a try. So I'll give just one more minute since some of us maybe just got it. Did anyone hear if that worked?
I'm seeing some feedback in the chat that it worked.
Yay!
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, so that is open in a new tab. If you're still working on it, by all means, you can continue. But I'm going to go ahead in the Nearpod so that we can, just for time's sake, keep moving on with our information. So now what we're going to do with that is we are going to, I guess once you finish, or at least you got a couple in there, we're going to save that onto our computer as a JPEG. And I'm going to show you why in just a minute, why we would want to do that. So I'm going to go to my presentation. I'm going to come to File, Download, JPEG. So once I do that, it's going to save right here at the bottom of my screen on my computer. So again, that's File, Download, JPEG, and it'll show up here on the bottom. The directions are also here in the Nearpod if you need, showing the same way. So if you want to wrap up your information quickly so that you can go ahead and do that. Again, if you just have one or two, that's fine, just so we kind of get the idea of a toy or a tool. Okay, so if you were in our last presentation, I said I was going to show you a great way that you can share graphic organizers using the discussion board. So here it is. So it says here, upload your graphic organizer. Share your thoughts by uploading the JPEG image you saved to your device as an image. Take a moment to look at others' ideas. So someone already knows how to do this, but here's how it works. All you have to do is, instead of clicking here where it says share thoughts, you're going to click on the little image icon. Once you click on that, one of the options is to drop any image or tap. So I'm going to click and drag my graphic organizer I just saved, and then I'm going to click save. Then it will post it. Mine's empty, but some of these others definitely have some answers in them. Now they're super tiny, so no worries. So you can see the work of others. You just click on the image and it makes it bigger for you so that you can see what they have written. So go ahead and add yours. I'll start to search through them so we can see some of the ideas. So a toy would be games, but then we can think of like online quizzes, Kahoot, which is a game, but now we're using it as a tool. Music, real-time communication would be a tool. So there are ways that we can have audio as a tool instead of a toy. Videos can be going either way, depends on their content, right? So we have to think about that. So some things can go in either category.
Lynnette,
Yes.
can you address how to get back to the other tab or show them the back arrow? I think some of them weren't able to get back to the Nearpod.
Sure thing. So if at any time you get lost in the Nearpod, all you have to do is click on the back arrow if you didn't right click, and it will take you back to the Nearpod. If that doesn't work, no worries. You can always go to nearpod.com and go ahead and put in that join code of 8K96G, and that will take you right to where we are in the presentation. Since this is live, it takes you boom, right to where we are.
And then just quickly, they want to know where you got that graphic organizer.
Do we have that? I think we have it. Yes, it's coming up later. No worries. We'll share it with you. But it is from a website, Ditch That Textbook. But no worries. We have that for you in just a little bit. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's see. Get some other ideas. So random games would be a toy, but a formative assessment would be a tool. Watch uneducational videos, but then we had independent practice like Nearpod, skill practice, so different apps that you can use for that. So we really realized there are different ways that technology is used. So I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, here we go. So sorry. So let's think for a moment about this. Gaming ability, that toy idea, does not equal academic digital document ability. Let me say that one more time. Gaming ability does not equal academic digital document ability. So do not overestimate the skills students may have with technology just because they have grown up surrounded by it. Instead, Ask students to gauge their skill level by holding up their fingers. 1, I'm just learning. 2, knows a little but not a lot. 3, knows a lot. Or 4, knows enough to teach others. Have students begin their project and then pause to have them explain to their partner what they did and how they did it. Then debrief those ideas with the whole class. Use that discussion format. Ask students to demonstrate their proficiency by first creating a quick practice sample, something that's not with the academics, but it shows you they know how to use the digital tool first, something quick, so you can see how they interact with it, and then troubleshoot right in that moment before you get into this big project. So let's check in with you, because we don't know your academic digital ability. So we were just getting started using some technology in this presentation. So let's pause for a moment and check in with you. How would you rate your comfortableness with using digital applications in the classroom? So you just click on your options here. 1, just learning. 2, know a little bit but not a lot. 3, know a lot. Or 4, know enough to teach others. So go ahead and click on your choice and then click submit. So select and submit. And this is a great tool to get instant feedback from your students within Nearpod of doing a poll. So go ahead, you have about 40 seconds remaining to put your answer in. If you did get lost and lost your Nearpod, don't worry, go to join.nearpod.com and put in the code 8K96G. I wonder if this shows the code. Oh, it does. Look there, 8K96G. I learned something new. Ten seconds.
So just really quick, if you're in the Nearpod, Lynnette is advancing and controlling the slides because we're going live. So if you miss something, we're sorry, but you can't go back. But at the end, we'll show you again how to save everything.
Okay, so the time is up. This is a great tool with Nearpod that now I can share our results. So there they come. So we have some different results here. It shows that the majority of us are at a number 2, that we know a little bit, but not a lot. We do still have quite a few around that number 3 spot, and we even have some that are at that number 4. The smallest group that we have is just learning. So the majority of us do have some experience with technology. I realize that today's is going to go at a pretty rapid pace, but we will try to help you as best we can, as well as you can go back and see these slides later that will show you at the end for how to do that. But it's nice to know that most of us are in that middle ground. All right. So Stephanie, it's you.
All right, sorry about that. Okay. So this is just our ELPS connection. So we wanted to show you this personal digital inquiry cycle or circle. So in our analyze and reflect, that is how we connect with the writing and learning strategies. In our wonder and discovery, we connect with listening and reading. Collaborate and discuss, listening and speaking. Create and take action, writing and speaking. So now we would like for you to right-click on the green part of the circle on Analyze and Reflect. Once you do that, you're going to choose Open Link in a new tab, and we are going to create a reflection document that you can use throughout this next process. So when you right-click on it, it asks you to make a copy. So make your copy. Let us know if there's any trouble with the settings, and we'll adjust those quickly.
And I'm sure there is, so I'm on it.
Okay.
It will be ready in 2 clicks. All right, it should work.
All right, so we're going to make our copy. And this is another graphic organizer from ditchthattextbook.com. And this is for our Analyze and Reflect. So let me get to a bigger screen here so that, no, I can't see that. So maybe Lynnette,
okay.
you can read
I
the
got
bubbles.
it.
Okay.
You sure can. So this was actually to analyze a character, but I thought let's think of technology as a character, as a person. How do we think about it? So reflecting on our thoughts and changes in our thinking is important. So I want you to start to reflect on how you feel or think about technology. Then you can change or add to this graphic organizer as needed. So this is something that we're going to look at not just once, but as students are going through an inquiry process, they need to continually analyze and reflect. So we're going to ask you today to analyze and reflect on how you think about technology. So these are just here as a tool that you can keep in the background to reflect on your feelings. So just keep that as a tab at the top, and you can add to it as we go. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next slide.
Okay, so now we want you to go to the yellow part of the circle for wonder and discovery. So again, this is another right click. You're going to choose open link in a new tab, and you're going to begin exploring some apps that we recommended for this particular component. So you should be looking at a slide that kind of looks like the sky. And basically each part of that circle is an active link. Would you click on, for example, the Analyze and Reflect, it will take you to a PDF that will show you the apps that we've recommended for PDF. There is the Ditch That Textbook that I know you've all wanted. So you can click on each picture and the link is embedded in the picture, or if you have your phone handy, you could scan that QR code. You can also download this PDF, that little arrow with the line under it, and save it for later so that you can access this and maybe even print it out for your students if you wanted. So you'll repeat that process and do that for each color of the circle. We want you to kind of keep in mind one that is your favorite that you come to, because we're going to, in the next part of this presentation, we're going to ask you to refer to that. So you'll have a lot of tabs open right now. Once you pick the one that you like, you can close the rest. Or pick the PDF that you like, you can close the rest.
So I've went ahead and gone around the whole circle, collecting up all of the tabs so that I have those handy. And we just want you to know this is not the only list. These are just some things that we have used. I'm sure you may have others as well.
If you are in Aldine, you can access most of these through your Clever page. If you're outside of Aldine, no worries. We put the link in the picture and the QR code.
And I'm pretty sure that I set all of this up to be shared with anyone with the link. So hopefully there was no issue through that process. So we're going to just give you 1 minute. I know this is a tight session and a lot of information, but we're just going to give you 1 minute to just kind of look at those quick and see if you can at least hone in on one page of apps that you like. And again, those were gotten by right-clicking on Wonder and Discover, opening that link in a new tab, then clicking around the circle. Okay, so at this point, you should at least have them open. So as we continue, make your way back to the Nearpod. I know you have a lot of tabs open. Hopefully it's your first tab, like mine. Make your way back there, and we are going to continue. But again, you have them open if you need to jump back and forth. So this is the part of the inquiry that you would be doing a collaboration. So ideally, we would do this with you actually being able to speak to each other and do a breakout group session. But due to time and the platform that we are using, we decided to adjust that. So we have made it instead a discussion board within Nearpod. So if you click on this little image, you can see the directions a little bit better of what part we're on Collaborate and Discuss. So this is where learners have opportunities to engage in conversations of shared interest, discuss interpretations, make connections, and negotiate differences in their thinking. So we're asking you to share what you discovered. Share something you would like to use in the classroom, something you already use with this application, or a question you still have. So go ahead and share out what you have discovered. So it could be in this moment or maybe in your classroom experience since we're moving so fast today.
Oh, we have some people, they like Flipgrid. They love the graphic organizers. Brain Pop, a lot of Nearpod. Screencastify. Padlet. Oh, we had a question. Are licenses required to access these?
As a friendly reminder, the screen code will come at the end.
Okay, some of you will need to get licenses to access these. Some of them, there are free versions. They may not be the same as the full-blown version. Some of it may be supported by your district. Some of ours are supported by our district. Some have different levels. Once you get trained, you get more access. So you would have to check with your district, with your school, to what is available to you. But if there is a free version on the site, always start with that to see if you like it first. So I believe Flipgrid has a free version. Nearpod has a free version. Brain Pop, you would need licenses for. Screencastify has a free version, not as good as the other one, but I use the free. Just that textbook is just a site with information, so that's free. Most Padlet has a free version. Again, not as much as the other one, but I use the free. So always try the free version first.
If you are on an Apple or a Mac device, I'm sorry, but you got 2 Android presenters. I apologize. But I don't know if there's anybody that can help somebody in the chat. When we say right click and you're on an iPad or a Mac, what would that be? What's the equivalent to right click?
And if you are on a Chromebook, I know that you have to put 2 fingers together on the pad and press down on the little mouse pad, and that gives you the right click. So I don't know if that helps with the other. Like she said, we don't use Macs, so I'm sorry.
We are a rarity.
All right. So it looks like a lot of us have been able to put up some ideas. So I'm sorry if I'm going to cut you off, but I am going to move ahead to the next slide.
Okay.
So you want to go ahead? Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
So learners have opportunities to express their interests once we get to create and take action, and do that in a creative work designed to start conversations, raise awareness, take actions, or change minds in their learning community or beyond. So we're going to use one of those examples here. So all you need to do is right-click on that and open the link in the new tab. And we're going to use one of the resources here that we showed. So you'll see here that this is a Padlet. And there's different options here. You can add more, though, if you would like. But Stephanie has already added some different options of apps that we have presented today. So what we want you to do is add a comment about what you like about one of the apps and how it supports ELs. So let's see, Flipgrid, they have a lot of options now with closed captions, which I think is great for ELs. So I'm going to click add, and it pops me down at the bottom here. So maybe I just want to call this closed captions. Allows ELs to better understand what is being said. And now I'm going to move my box up closer to Flipgrid, and this is where things get fun. So this is a canvas inside of Padlet, one of the ways that you can set up your Padlet. So I'm going to click on these little buttons that say more, and one of them, oh no, that's not it, sorry. You first have to click elsewhere. And then it's the 3 dots here, sorry. So once you've clicked somewhere else, you're going to find these 3 dots, more actions. And one of them is to connect to a post. So once you connect to a post, you can decide which of these that you want to connect to. So I'm going to click connect to Flipgrid, and you see it makes a little arrow. So if there's captions in something else, like I want to add maybe an image of YouTube, that you can add captions on YouTube, or Vocabulary has captions too. So I could add Vocabulary's image and then link that as well. So if you see something else that's available in another app, you can link those together. So this is a great way to start to web ideas. So go ahead, feel free to add additional app pictures if you'd like. So how do you do that? Just click on the plus, it takes you down at the bottom, and you see one of these options here is a camera. So you would, oh no, let's take a picture of me. No, don't take a picture of me. Click the 3 buttons. Sorry.
There's your 10-minute warning, ladies.
All right, and we're close to the end. So you're going to click on that, and you can click then if you want to add, let's see. Didn't there used to be an oh, I guess you could upload from your computer, but didn't there used to be an image? Oh, maybe it's Google. Do I have to search Google? Oh, yes, I have. Is that how you did it, Stephanie? I know you add images.
Yes. So you have to search the image and save it. And then you're going to upload with that little arrow, the saved image. I was not able to cut and paste.
I thought before they had an option here, you could just find an image.
Yeah, they may have changed something. When I was looking at it on Friday, it looked a little different to me. So I had to save the image.
They're always making changes. So sorry about that. It sounds like a little bit of a workaround. So you just have to search here first in images. So I guess if I want vocabulary.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, there. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So where'd it go? Okay. So now if I wanted to bring that up next to my other one, I can click the 3 dots and connect that now to the closed captions as well. Okay, so that is open in a new tab. We'll let you play around as we continue. If you would like this resource, it is called List Group Label. If you'd like to do it in the classroom, you can just click the download button and you'll have this activity for later to do this with physical items as well. And just asking as you go back through this process to don't forget to revisit your graphic organizer and take a moment to reflect on your learning today. So that graphic organizer is available for you to constantly come back to as you're going through this process. We'd also like to leave you with a resource. So this is a document to plan out your thinking. So if you would like to have this resource to plan out what you want to provide for students of opportunities during each parts of this digital inquiry, you can download this. If you'd like an editable copy, you just click here for an editable copy. I will fix that. I think right now it only works if you're in Aldine. So I will fix that so that you can get an editable copy anywhere you are. So sorry, at that moment it won't work, but I will fix it as soon as we finish.
And this is an optional document. It is not a requirement. It is just something to help you organize your thoughts. It helps us, so it may not help you, but hopefully it will. So we want to know, how did we do? We want to know if you feel like we were able to incorporate apps into various stages of the lesson. Did we help you understand how to use technology to support language learners in the classroom? Were you able to express your opinions, ideas, and feelings in discussions?
So at just this time, if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them, as well as here's our contact information. So we have our emails as well as our Twitter handles. And there is also the hashtag TCCA 2020. Now we promised to show you how you could save all of this information for later. I did, I think, demo it a little bit ago, but in case you need to see that again, just here where there is the pencil with the little notebook, click on that, and you can send this presentation to yourself or save it to your Google Drive or OneDrive. So that way you can access it and see all the resources, links, everything will still be active and working. And you can flip back and through, as you cannot right now.
So we have somebody who says they feel lost like their students do. So maybe we can address, it gets easier. You can speak to that.
Yes, don't worry. I know we did throw a lot at you today. That's why I highly recommend you taking your time to go back and go through each of those slides and looking at them carefully to get the information you need. Unfortunately, we had a very tight time constraint, so we were trying to get all the information out to you. But remember, if you came away today with only one or two tools, that's one or two tools you didn't have before. So please don't feel like you have to take on everything that we've given to you today. Just pick out what works for you or for what you feel comfortable with. And you can hold on to those PDFs and come back to them at another time.
Will you show that Nearpod code one more time?
Mm-hmm.
And also, they're asking if you have to save again, if you've already saved once.
No, once you do it once, it continues to save. But if you want to feel safe, by all means, go ahead and do it again if it makes you feel better.
And yes, you can reach out to us. We put our email there and our Twitter handles. Yes, you can reach out to us after this presentation. We are happy to help.
That's what I was just about to say. They have your presentation, then they have your contact information, so they definitely can reach out if they need to.
And how do you save the presentation again?
All right, so you go ahead here to the side. There's the little paper with the pencil. You click on that. It brings it over, and you can save it. So you just click send via email, save to Google Drive, or save to OneDrive, and then it will send the whole presentation to you so that you can access it.
And there might be a delay, so be patient, but it will come to you.
Yes. There's a lot of you here, so it might take a little bit.
Kind of like the certificates. I did see that sessions 1 and 2 certificates were emailed out. So everybody that was getting a little excited, those are on their way for each session. Are there any more questions out there, Brooke, burning questions?
Not that I can see at this time.
Okay. Lynnette and Stephanie, y'all did an amazing job. Once again, second session, you killed it. I want to remind all of our YouTube watchers, I want to give a shout out to Ramirez. They are sitting in this room 13 with us all day with Brooke and I manning the YouTube channel. So thank you so much. Remember, we have sessions beginning at the top of every hour. Please take time to visit our vendors. They're heartbroken that they can't see you in person, but they are presenting sessions as well. The super secret password, what everybody's been waiting for, is INSPIRE. INSPIRE with a capital I. Remember, it is case sensitive. Write these down for every session you attend so that when you get the certificate, you type in the super secret password and then you get credit for attending this session. Okay, it is case sensitive. Please remember that. Okay. All right, ladies, any other questions, Brooke, before we end?
There's one more. It says, is there somewhere to quit losing the Nearpod tab?
So you would lose it if you didn't right click to open a new tab. So there is, I've reached out to Nearpod to explain this situation, and so far it has not been resolved. If you have a link that Nearpod does pick up, it will automatically open it in a new tab. But since I embedded them into PDFs and images, the only way that workaround happens is to do the right click and open in a new tab. Hopefully someday they will fix that so we can have that run smoother. But as of right now, you just have to do a right click, open a new tab, or you have to click the back arrow to come back to where you are. So I'm sorry, sometimes in the tech world, the users end up finding workarounds to make things happen how they want. And eventually, hopefully, the ones making it catch up to what we're asking for.
Somebody commented that their students will give up. Yes, at first it can be very frustrating, but the kids will keep going as long as you keep going. And I had to learn that because my partner was like, go for it. And I was like, you're crazy. So what I did is I took it one step at a time. So one thing for one day, teach them something else the next day, and then you can eventually put it together. It's all about chunking.
And with my students, I do not use the right click and open a new tab. I make it much more simplified, and I would just have it in Nearpod as a web content page. I wouldn't have it as complicated as we did today with adults. So you don't have to do all of these things with students. We're just trying to share. And I know we have a range of people that may be all the way from preschool up to 12th grade. So depending on the ability of what age you're teaching, you need to make it fit your students.
Okay, great job, ladies. Thank you to everyone for attending our session. Remember, we will repeat the keynote at 11, okay, for those of you that are on a different time zone than what we are in. So thank you so much for attending, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.